30 summers ago, Queens was the center of the baseball universe. The Mets and their fans were hungry for a return to the postseason, and the result was one of the most dominant teams in Major League history. Tonight, we celebrate the resilient, beloved, and immensely talented 1986 World Champion New York Mets.
They would call us the bad boys or whatever.
Like the Hells Angels. No, I'm just playing. No, the attitude that we had was confidence, you know, that we can go out there and win every game.
Line drive, it'll be a base hit to left field.
The best way I could describe the attitude was
arrogant. We didn't understand the meaning of the word loss. We didn't think that it was possible that that teams could beat us.
And a line drive, base hit into center field.
Would pull for each other. Always had each other's back.
A soft line drive, it'll be a base hit into center field. Carter will score. Mitchell will go to third. A base hit by Ray Knight.
It didn't matter to us who got the job done. We just knew that we had players that were willing to lay it all out and win.
The pitch gets away, gets away. Here comes Mitchell, here comes Mitchell. Tie game.
we expected to win every day we went out there. And the one thing that we did was we took it personal.
And the pitch by Stanley, and a ground ball trickling. It is a fair ball. Pitched by Buckner. Rounding third right. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win.
For the 1986 New York Mets, spring training began with thoughts of a championship. After 2 seasons of near misses, the Mets and manager Davey Johnson were well aware of what they had to do to change their fortunes.
Because we came so close 84 and 85. In 86, I remember Davey just came and he goes, guys, we're not only going to win this year, we're going to dominate.
He said we're going to win. You know, I mean, he made a huge statement. You know, it's a statement that you don't see many managers make, especially at the start of the season, because it puts a bullseye on your back. And he definitely put the bullseye on our back, but he had the team that wasn't going to lose.
I believe day one of spring training, David made it clear that we were the best team and that we were going to win it all. So we rolled out the red carpet for ourselves and believed it ourselves that we was going to win it all.
Line drive, base hit, right center field. Mitchell scores. Mets on top, 3-2. 10 strikeouts for Gooden as he wins the second game of the year. Well hit and deep to left. This ball game is tied. Home run, Ray Knight.
You know, before I got to that team, I didn't know what swagger was, you know, until I met these 2 guys, Wally, Backman, and Lenny, Dykstra. They was a spark plug of our team.
I mean, I'm just glad to be playing baseball. I love the game. Love playing in front of the fans. Love putting on a show. Love, like, you know, I mean, I couldn't wait to get to the yard.
We had the middle guys. You had Hernandez, Carter, and myself coming through behind that with Ray Knight.
But undoubtedly, the most consistent part of the team in '86 was its pitching.
good fastball blows Sandberg right out of it.
Oh, that rising fastball got him.
Got him with the split finger fastball.
And again, Ojeda took something off.
We dominated, I'm talking with probably within the first 6 weeks.
On the night of May 27th, things got pretty wild for the rest of the Mets, too, especially Ray Knight, whose brawl with Dodger pitcher Tom Niedenfuhr branded the Mets with a reputation they would live with for the rest of the season. Around the league, opposing players and fans were infuriated with the Mets' infatuation with playing hard and winning.
We really didn't care.
That's just who we were. You know, we took on that personality, and we kind of had a little swagger about ourselves, and people didn't like us and we didn't like them.
We brought the drama to the fans, and the fans took it upon themselves to start the curtain calls and bringing us out of the dugout, appreciate individually a guy who had a great game. Say, you know, Gary Carter hits a home run, you know, guaranteed is going to be a curtain call.
Carter had a lot of good curtain calls, you know, and other teams, opposing teams, hated the curtain calls. I know I had a long trot, you know, that would take a long time from time to time, because, you know, I didn't like pitchers, you know. Sometimes I just had to, you know, really dial it back for them, you know, to really let them know how deep I can take a ball out of the ballpark and hit it off the scoreboard or something, and take my time running around the bases, and eventually come out for the curtain calls. You know, the curtain calls were fun.
It was lighthearted. It was a light group. I think, you know, with New York, there comes a lot of tension. You know, there's expectations. We're performing every night in front of a packed house, and you know, you have to have some kind of diversions, and we certainly created some diversions. Roger McDowell with the hot foot.
Now you got a very good hot foot.
Roger was kind of like the class clown. He kept everyone loose. I think the funniest thing I ever saw Roger do, he put his uniform on upside down, and it appeared that he was actually standing on his hands.
I think that the one thing Davey did for us was he really instilled that in us.
Davey was a player's manager. He was a guy that, you know, let the cast of characters do their thing.
We were a wild bunch, but we came to the ballpark every day ready to play. That was the most important thing.
When you think about 30 years and you think about, you know, what we accomplished in 30 years together, I just think it's fun when you look back and you look at this team. We were a complete team. You know, we had everybody playing together, everybody working together, and, you know, we just gelled together and we stuck together, and we went on to win. And that just showed the character of what the team was made of. For this group of guys, this never get old. This is a special group of guys. Met fans love this team. They remember this team. They remember the heart of this team, and, you know, they remember the personality, because we had a lot of personality and we had a lot of swagger about ourselves.
The type of players that we had there, we had guys that wouldn't mind getting in a fight.
The throw, he's safe. And now look at this. Davis and Ray Knight.
Ray was feisty, you know. He had a quick temper, you know, and he had a good set of hands.
I'll tell you one thing, you're barking up the wrong tree when you go after Ray Knight.
Never said nothing out loud, but always was a peaceful guy. You never know he was this guy that was to snap on you and give you a right hook at any moment.
Boy, they're still going at it.
That's Kevin Mitchell. There's another guy you don't want to fool around with.
We're out there, and Kevin Mitchell is on the bottom of the pile, and I can remember this like it was yesterday. You know, you didn't want to be on the bottom of the pile with Kevin Mitchell.
Where I grew up, we fought all the time. You know, that's all I knew how to do was fight, you know. But I didn't want to bring that to the game when I played, you know. But I was the type of guy, I got mine when it came down to it. I'm a team player. If something break out, I gotta follow my team. The team that I'm with.
The Mets' progress might have taken a turn for the worse when Gary Carter injured his thumb. One ironic aspect of Carter's injury was that it focused more attention on Keith Hernandez. After slumping through much of the summer, Hernandez knew he'd be called on to pick up the slack after Carter was hurt. And true to form, he did. Not only with his play on the field, but with his guidance and leadership off it as well.
Captains and leaders of teams will be chosen by the players themselves. I know management can always assign someone and put a big seal in the chest. And don't get me wrong, that has some value, but players will let you know who the leader of the clubhouse is. The team looked towards Keith for leadership, and I'm glad that he embraced the role.
17 years that I played in Major League Baseball, I can maybe a handful of players that I disliked. So I liked every one of these guys on this team. They were young. They kind of rejuvenated me. I was, 30? And they were a lot of youngsters. You're the guys in their early 20s and mid 20s. As far as camaraderie was concerned on the road, absolutely we hung out together and we had a good time. We talked baseball and just had a blast.
Cruz with a ground ball. It's a fair ball, and Hernandez has got it. The throw is in time. What a play. Look at Hernandez. A Golden Glove first baseman makes a Golden Glove play.
Of course, Hernandez wasn't alone when it came to providing the Mets with leadership and character. Both Keith and Gary Carter were players the others could look up to.
Leadership is just an example on the field. Gary took 2 hours to get ready for a ball game every night. He ran out to his position with bad knees. He had to squat 9 innings.
I got to tip my hat to this guy, man. As a rookie, he taught me a lot about preparing myself for the game.
And he had the will to win.
With the champagne on ice, the Mets put the ball in the capable hands of Dwight Gooden. And the doc quickly let people know that September 17th would indeed be a night to remember.
I think it would always stick out because being on the field, being the ace of the staff in '86, and being able to pitch a complete game, get the last out, and have the players rush them out, and to share that at home with the fans, there's no greater feeling.
Ground ball to the right side of the infield. Backman has it to Hernandez. Mets win. It's over. Keith Hernandez took the throw, and oh my goodness.
Let's go. Wow.
On October 8th, the Mets began their second season in Houston against the Astros. To a man, the team was confident yet cautious, considering they were facing an Astro pitching staff that had been nearly unbeatable the last month of the season.
We had a lot of respect for Houston because we knew what kind of club they had. We thought they matched up with us very well. They had good pitching. They had some speed. They had power. And they had Mike Scott.
Mike Scott was on the mound for the Astros. The ace of Houston's staff quickly showed the Mets just why he led the league in strikeouts during the year.
The thing about Mike Scott was he was so good at the end of that season. And, everybody was wondering why was he so good? Why all of a sudden that he emerged to be such a good pitcher? And, we find out, he was cutting the ball and it was working.
There's no question Scotty was scuffing the ball. He knows it. He probably admits it today.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, if Keith Hernandez is saying that Mike Scott is scuffing the ball, he's scuffing the ball. If Keith Hernandez is not hitting you, something is wrong. Something is going on with the ball. I mean, I think we pulled like 12 balls out of that game that came over to our side of the dugout, and they were scuffed.
There were some marks on the baseball, quite a few of them. You can call them sculpts or cuts or whatever you want to call them, but the umpires refused to acknowledge that there was anything done to balls. But Houston, we went into that series knowing it was going to be a pretty good series.
Lenny Dykstra, the man they call Nails on the Mets ball club, is waiting. Now the pitch. And a high fly ball hit the right field. It is fairly deep. It's way back by the wall. He did it! It's a home run! A home run! The Mets win the ball game. Dykstra hits a home run. Lynn Dykstra hit a home run. This ball game is over.
The home runs, and then us coming from behind.
And a ground ball, base hit through the middle. Backman around third. Backman coming home. The throw, he scores. The Mets win. The Mets win.
On that team, we had something for everybody. You know, I mean, there were personalities from one end of the spectrum to the other. And it was a group of guys that really got along well together. They really loved being at the ballpark. They loved performing in front of the fans. And when the game was ready to start, we were all in.
New York always thought of itself as a very tough city. And that team was a very tough team. Plus, they love you if you win a championship.
So the Mets went back to Houston for Game 6 and brought a few fans with them.
Let's go, Mets! Tonight's the night! Who's going to win tonight? I think the Astros. Astros? Nah, come on. Mets!
Wow. You know, that's all I could really say about Game 6. We didn't want a Game 7. I could tell you that.
Game 6 in Houston, we checked out of the hotel, so we were either going on an airplane as NL victors, or we were going back to the hotel and face Mike Scott the next day. So we were in big trouble if we didn't win Game 6.
Mets have had only 2 hits. Game 7 would be tomorrow night. The pitchers would be Ron Darling and Mike Scott.
But suddenly, with the Rally Caps back in New York working their magic, the Mets erupted.
Davey goes down to me and he says, you're going to lead off the ninth. I said, oh, you really? You finally want to win, huh?
And a high fly hit the right center field.
We don't even go to the World Series if I don't lead off with a triple against Nepper. This guy's cruising. In the ninth, with a 3-0 lead, 3-0 lead.
The pitch. Fly ball, well hit to right center field. The game will be tied up. Hernandez will score. Tie ball game. Ray Knight has tied it up.
To me, it was the greatest game I ever played in.
Mets looking for the biggest hit of the year right here. And a line drive base hit. Going into right field. Strawberry will try to score. Here's the throw coming to the plate. He scores! The Mets have taken the lead.
It was 4 hours, almost a 5-hour game. Every inning was on the line.
4-3 New York, bottom half of the 14th inning. Now the pitch on the way. And a high fly deep to left, down the line. It may go foul, waiting. It hits the screen. Tie ball game, home run.
How rare do you have a 16-inning game that has such importance as that? It was the greatest game I ever played in.
Line drive, base hit to right field. Strawberry may have trouble scoring. The throw is coming in, won't get him. The run is in. Knight to second base. The Mets are in front, 5-4.
We needed to finish that game, and you know, it was a seesaw back and forth, and just so many things took place.
This is heart-stopping baseball, pulsating baseball. Nobody has sat down in the last 4 or 5 innings. Incredible. Now the stretch. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss! Swing and a miss! Struck him out! Struck him out! Mets win it! The Mets have won it! They're in the World Series. Oh, they are mobbing Jesse Orozco.
We pulled Game 6 off, of course, and heading to the World Series. We couldn't have been more thrilled. I think we were so excited after that. I think that's why we had a little lull the first couple of games against Boston was, you know, that series took a lot out of us.
The Mets, though, had done what they had to do by winning twice in Boston, and now were confident about the prospects of playing the last 2 games before their vocal home crowd. One fan tried a unique way of rallying the Mets.
Yeah, a crazy event. Only in New York.
It really didn't get that much attention, really, from the players, because we, like I said, we were used to seeing some crazy stuff.
He kind of summarized our team. He kind of fit in.
Today's age, no one to get near the ballpark. And there's a parachute. I mean, might get shot down.
At the point, I thought it was awesome. Once everything and everybody was safe. I mean, he got landed right on the pitcher's mound, and we got arrested. But a lot of us, put money together and got him out.
Now the windup, the pitch to Henderson, well hit, deep to left field, way back, going, gone, a home run. The Red Sox are in front, 4-3.
The way our team was set up, the way we dominated the National League, we were thinking we were the best team in baseball. And to lose that would have been a very disappointing year for us.
Now the pitch on the way, hit in the air. Rice is there and has it for the out. And the Red Sox are 2 outs away from a championship. And a fly ball to center. Henderson going back under it now. He has it, 2 men down.
I went up to my locker, and I just did not want to see Boston having fun on our field.
What we were all thinking was we were kind of sitting back in the dugout going, man, this is not looking good. This could be over.
Everybody sitting very quietly in that New York Mets dugout, hoping against hope that something will start to happen.
It's not the proudest moment for me. I wish I had stayed on the bench, but I got into that lucky chair. I still say to this day that chair, I wasn't going to leave that chair as everything started unfolding. Carter's hit, and Mitchell's hit, and Ray's hit, and everything that went on.
A soft line drive, it'll be a base hit.
And that lucky little chair, that sofa chair that I was sitting in, had all those hits in it.
The pitch gets away. Here comes Mitchell.
I still look at it with amazement on how did we get to that point. How did we actually get to that point?
And the pitch by Stanley, and a ground ball trickling. It is a fair ball. Hit by Buckner. Rounding third base. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win.
To make that contact, and it goes to a guy who we thought was one of the greatest baseball players in our time, and he misses a routine ground ball. I mean, those kind of things just don't happen.
Dave Stapleton used to play defense for Buck all the time, and McNamara left him in the game, and shame on him. I mean, there's guys for certain roles, and that was Dave Stapleton's role, and I know the reason why he wanted Billy Buckner in there still, because he was a veteran guy, but you got to do what the game dictates, and that's what the game dictated with Stapleton. He was supposed to be at first base, so.
I felt a little disappointed the way that some of the people, treated him for what happened to the Red Sox, and they tend to forget that a lot of things happened long before that ground ball.
Incredibly, almost implausibly, the Mets were still alive, and their entire season had now come down to a single game.
Now the windup in the delivery, swung on, hit in the air, fairly deep to left field, going back near the wall, looking up, goodbye! Home run, Ray Knight! The Mets lead 4-3!
The time had come. The Mets were now just 1 out away from winning a memorable World Series. Just 2 days before, the Red Sox had been in the very same position, but the Mets weren't about to let the same thing happen to them.
Please, Jesse, get this done. Get this over with.
He struck him out. The Mets have won the World Series, and they're jamming and crowding all over Jesse Orasco. The dream has come true. The Mets have won the World Series, coming from behind to win the 7th ball game.
The release and the emotional release at the end of that game, knowing that you're a world champ, it just was unlike anything else, just because of what we went through. I sat in the hallway or after it was all over and just had to reflect and had to take it all in and just be by myself for a little bit because of what had occurred.
When you see the final out and you see a Roscoe, you see him throw his glove up, and Carter comes and jumps in his arm, and you're rushing to the middle part of the field, and you see the celebration, and you see the players, and you realize that you have accomplished something great, and that most players dream about is not just getting to the World Series. I mean, it's a lot of guys get there, but winning. And you know one thing about it is playing in New York, you know it stays forever. Nobody ever forgets. It's 30 years you look at this team and you think about the players and the personalities we had, and we had a great time. We had a great time together, and most guys that you probably sit and talk to and interview, they tell you, this was a great team. We had a lot of fun together.
Today, I realize how important it is to be a world champion. A lot of great memories from it.
No, I didn't win an MVP or anything of that nature. Never made an All-Star game, nothing like that. But I have a World Series ring, and I won it here in New York, and we won it in style. Can't beat it.